having a fantastic day like me, just wanted to make a quick video on a recruitment tip, which is actually quite important. So it's only 2-3 minutes long, this video, but it will give you a real insight, a real something to avoid. I see a lot of people calling themselves talent acquisition managers. It's developed over the last few years, 5, even 10 years ago. It didn't exist, this title. It was HR managers, which obviously people thought was a bit boring, and then personnel managers, and now it's talent acquisition managers, not recruitment consultants anymore, talent acquisition. And in the sales area, be real careful of this, because you don't want talent. That is not your number one thing that you're doing. And so I might call this video talent versus attitude. Now, for example, I believe give me attitude every time. I've been in a lot of companies, attitude works. In my own company, I've had so many talented people that produce nothing. It's not the key thing to go for. Now, with a bad attitude, we're talking about somebody comes in with a you owe me a living attitude, or what I often call blamers. For those into NLP, there's a lady called Virginia Satir who talked about a blamer category, a whole psychology around blaming. I hear this so often, this blaming. Blaming is from weak people. And if you ever do it, knock out of it, because you've lost control. Because if you blame anything on someone else, something else, whatever, your results is because somebody else had the better leads, or the manager gave help to somebody, or training, or the economy is weak, the market's weak, the customers you've got are bad. If you're blaming anything or anyone else, you've got a weak attitude. So I always spot at recruitment interviewing, if somebody thinks anything that's gone wrong in their lives, they blame anyone else, they're immediately a no for me. That's a bad attitude. And another thing, which is so commonplace these days, I still can't believe it, it didn't happen in my day, not that I'm that old, is arriving late to work. There are so many people think arriving late to work, they don't even apologize for it. Or they ring in Monday sick and do it regularly. It's always a Monday that they had a bit of flu. Absolute, BS. You've got to spot these things at recruitment level, not when you've hired them. So be really harsh on your recruitment and really probe deeply before you give anybody an offer, is my advice. I ask questions like, have you ever been late for work? And I'm surprised how many people are totally taken aback by the question, surprised. They're not offended, but they're surprised. And they answer quite honestly that you can tell by the way they answer, they don't think that's a problem. They think that's totally acceptable behavior. It doesn't matter what time they arrive in. They actually are so lacking in the discipline for a sales office that, they have that attitude. So I ask them, have you ever been late to work? Have you ever been off sick? I know people who are retired now and have never had a day off sick in their entire career, nor been in late once. And it's creating an environment of high dropouts in sales. When I started in sales, I worked for a company a couple of years, whatever it was. There wasn't a single person went during the period I was there, less than 2 years that had been there. It just didn't happen. I can't remember ever anyone coming in late or being sick. Just did not happen. And now there's a culture of accepting it, that it's normal and you're wrong. So if anybody's got any of these attitudes, they're not really going to help you build your business. You've got to get them right at the kernel, because you can't change attitude that easy. It's ingrained in them. Very difficult, possible, but very hard work to get out. Now, a good attitude is just tell me what I have to do. Whatever it is, I want to make a success of this. Tell me what I have to do to get there. I will do it. Right? I will be the first in work and the last to leave. I will study in my spare time. I will invest in myself. I will never give up. These are the sort of things you're looking for in an attitude. So when you get somebody talking at an interview, they can't hide it. It will soon, their beliefs behind that will come out. You can tell, particularly if you probe on their previous employer. But talking about talent, talent is great. You can get people that naturally develop rapport. They're natural peoples, and someone that's naturally assertive with diplomacy can make good closers. Somebody that's naturally smartly dressed, really helps in sales. And great qualifications can be great. But those talents is they can all be trained quite quickly. They can be done in a day, some of those. So all of those talents that you need, well, a day maybe is a bit harsh, but if they've got the right attitude, they can do it. I've employed several hundred people directly for myself over my career, let alone what I've placed in other companies. And I have seen so many talented people not produce anything. And it's so sad. You see them just idling about until they're drifting off, and they've got incredible talents. And other people are just so jealous of their skill sets, but they're just not motivated. They're lazy, they're put idle, and they have this bad attitude. And I have tried so long to get rid of bad attitude in people. I now decide I ain't going to change the leopards on the spot. I'm going to recruit people with good attitude and give them really top quality training. And that's what I recommend you do. So recruit good attitude, have a good attitude acquisition manager, not a talent acquisition manager, and notice the results change. Great. Have a fantastic day.